I have an important guest today, Dr. Yunusa Tanko. Dr. Yunusa Tanko was former chairman of NCP, National Conscience Party, started by or founded by um, Chief Gani Fawemi, and then later he also became an executive of IPAC, that is Inter-Party Alliance Committee, if I get that
Advisory,
correct. That acronym, advice
advisory
committee,
council.
yeah. Advisory Council, IPAC, yeah. And then later they were also the people who led the um, frontier for collaboration among political parties in 2019, the CUPP. If I get the acronym for CUPP, Dr. Yunusa Tanko, please remind me. Uh,
Coalition,
CUPP,
CUPP, that's Coalition United for Political Parties, CUPP.
COP. Okay. So as
Hmm.
I speak with you right now, I mean, they are still in the works. They are still working on working for possible collaboration among political parties to present a united candidate for 2023. So we want to discuss with Dr. Yunusa Tanko to tell us what is in the works, what is happening, what the likely updates are, so that we can also work with the pace. So Dr. Yunusa Tanko, I welcome you officially, and I want you to take it from there. What is up right
Okay.
now between what is the talk right now for Peter B, Kwankwaso, and the rest?
Okay.
What is the
Shagun,
update?
thank you for having me. Thank you very much for having me. And good afternoon or good evening to Nigerians and everybody that's following us. Um, First of all, I would like people to understand, and I'll probably apologize for sometimes, at each level, there could be confusion as regard to what we are doing. But when you follow the trend, you will come to understand. Quickly, I am still the chairman of the National Conscience Party. We're still in court. I'm
Okay,
hoping that
okay.
probably the court will just give us a leverage so that we
Reverse
can
the
survive as a
exactly.
political party.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm still there.
But let's
Um,
let's let
but
people
at a,
let's let people get clarification to that. NCP was deleted by INEC, or was deregistered by
exactly,
INEC. So
exactly,
and NCP is still in court with INEC against INEC for that
exactly.
act. Yeah. Okay. Please
Exactly,
continue, sir.
because
Yeah.
our case is independent of the other cases. Okay. The truth is that when we notice that we have these challenges of the registration or no the registration, um, a group of intellectuals led by Professor Pat Tomi, quite a lot of Obiese Kwesili, Kingsley Morgalu, everybody
Okay.
that's interested in really forming a formidable force and to
Yeah.
rescue the country come together under the National Consultative Front. Comrade Wale
Okay.
Okuni is the head of the
NCF.
secretariat. Yes,
Okay.
and then if you remember, there was a time that the former Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, Umar Gali Abba, was co-chairing, including our revered constitutional lawyer, Olisa Agbakoba, all of us from Efemi Falanan, everybody chanting a new cause. It's a discussion group. The later on form is saying to look, what do we have formidable that will have to challenge this status quo? If you say you
Hmm.
want to go alone as a political party, you can't survive the hurricane because these people on this other side of the aisle, they
Hmm.
have gathered so much wealth. They've gathered so much manipulative ideas and how they can continue to be in power against the interests of the collective. So that was why the NCF come on board and we develop a strategic work plan. We keep on working. Don't forget also, this particular coalition has had its firm roots about almost 3 generations ago. The Labour Party happened to be a group, a platform where we used to meet. It was a particular platform also that culminated and produced the like of Buhari. If you remember the UAD and all of them, we were working together as a group. And that also produced Buhari. But at that time, what we wanted was to see if we can get something new for the Nigerian people. But it turned out the way it turned
Hmm.
out. A lot of people can
Hmm.
also accuse us of bringing in Buhari. Well, some of us who saw the light early started attacking it. And then we can apologize for that particular mistake. But we can't keep quiet.
Hmm.
So we keep on
Hmm.
moving. So at the
Hmm.
end of it all, we come under the National Consultative Front. At the under the Consultative Front, we have spoken with all the 16 political parties apart from PDP and APC. we've had discussions, serious discussions, on the need for us to come together and form a common front. And there was nobody, there was no dissenting voice that said, look, we cannot work together. We all agreed that we must find a way of uprooting this particular cankerworm that have put us in abject poverty and the quagmire that we find ourselves.
So at that level, are you still doing the consultation? I mean, the collaboration at the level of NTF, or is there a new committee emerging?
Of course, that's what it has produced, the Labour Party. Because it was after that particular consultation, we cascaded it to about 5. We also realized that this thing cannot be done without us reaching out to the labor movement. We reach out to the TUC and the NLC. Interestingly, here we must give kudos to Professor Pat Otomi, who stood thick and thin to follow up the trend. Even when we are having challenges, he still stood by us, and we went ahead. So eventually, when we had meetings at the TUC and the NLC level, we all agree. We almost come up with a new party and a new logo before time really consumed us with the technical provision by INEC. We couldn't find a way in which we do a merger. We couldn't find a way to do a fusion. But we later on come to the conclusion that we can adopt a political party that meets our ideological lineage. And eventually, we dovetail and agree on the Labour Party. We barely announced the Labour Party just about a week before now Corporate Peter Obi joined the party. This is not to say that Peter Obi had not been discussing with Labour Party ab initio. He has been. But eventually, we too announced the Labour Party as our adopted party before Peter Obi joined. And let's be clear, this particular grouping have a lot of political parties, a lot of technocrats, a lot of intelligence people who form close to about millions of membership around the globe, both locally and internationally. So that was the basics for which we are standing. As I speak with you now, I'm the spokesperson of the National Consultative Front. So while we announced the Labour Party, now the hurricane started coming in. Comrade Peter Obi joined us, added more strength to what we are doing. The labor movement is in it. The TUC is in it.
I noticed you are using Comrade for Peter Obi.
Yes, I am, because once he has joined when he has joined the folk, we will baptize him as a comrade, because he's speaking our words. He's speaking our words. He's speaking our language. He's doing what we want Nigerians to have. So once you are already doing the comradeship idea, automatically you become a comrade.
You become a comrade.
You understand? Yes. So that's the reason why I have to use that word for him.
Where is the alliance likely pointing at now? Who are those who are you are bringing into the alliance, so that we can have idea where we are likely following or going?
Well, as I said, we spoke with almost all the political parties that are registered and deregistered. We want everybody to be on board. So we are not closing our doors. We are opening it for those who want to be converted into rescuing Nigeria. If you remember that a lot of groups have been coming out to say we want to rescue Nigeria, we want to rescue Nigeria. It must be strategically done. As we speak today, I know a lot of our comrades, core corporates are kicking against it, that they wanted us to have a core movement that is core comrade, core socialist, and all of those ones. But the truth be said, if you don't have the funding, if you don't have the technical know-how, you cannot get there. And if you want to play politics when you have the strength. In this movement, you need the core politicians. You need the NGOs. You need a platform of political party that believes into your ideology. And then gradually, you can cascade it down to a core movement when you've already gotten power. Because if you are in a position of power, you cannot get it right. And so we will plead with all of our colleagues who really believe in rescuing Nigeria that this is an opportunity we can't let go. We made that same mistake in 1993 when we had an opportunity to contest for election, but we let it go because we opened the door and we allowed all kinds of individuals to take power from us. And now they become so strong. To rescue that power from them is becoming so difficult. But we can use this window as an opportunity to get strength and mobilize and get to that destination we want to get to. At the moment now, we are reaching out to a lot of people. We are talking with a lot of groups, we're talking to a lot of core politicians who have similar ideologies like us in trying to rescue the country from the situation that we find ourselves. A lot of people getting to we've been talking with Kwankwaso, we've been talking to a lot of people. Even before Peter Obi comes, we've been playing a particular discussion down, discussion to all of them. We've been, if you remember, there was a meeting that held even in Lagos here, held by Professor Patrick Tomi in Lagos there, even before Peter Obi comes. So these are records of what we have been doing. Our target is Nigeria. Our target is emancipating of Nigeria from the circle of poverty. Our target is make sure that every Nigerian youth has opportunity to get employment. Our target is to make sure that the economic situation of Nigeria is in the hands of Nigerian people. Our target is to ensure that we have people in the country, Nigeria, turning us from hopeless situation to hope, turning us to from consumption to a productive nation, making sure that we do the right thing for Nigeria. And finally, here, adopting the Charter of Demand of the Nigerian Labour Congress. We are adopting the document of the TUC. We are also working together with the manifesto of the Labour Party and all other ideas that can make Nigeria better. And I want to ask this: if you cannot be on this particular platform of getting Nigeria out of the wood, what platform would you be?
Great.
What platform?
Dr. Tanko, this idea sounds very great. The mission sounds very inspiring and exciting. But I remember that CUPP, if you are trying to look for alternative against PDP and APC, CUPP, as far as I remember, still adopted article of PDP during the last election. Would you say you are deviating from that right now to look for something else, or may the NTF still be coming back to adopt article again?
No, not at all. If you remember, the time I had an interview with you on the same issue of the CUPP, so that was why I was apologizing that Nigerians should really understand how politics works. Politics is not about activism. Politics is about the game of numbers. You have to use your strategic point to really get something out of these particular people. What you want to get is not about money, but getting power. Because if you don't have power, you are not in position of power. You cannot the changes. You cannot affect. You cannot. It's not possible. Just a simple example. Imagine if Labour Party get power in 2023. Do you think we will have ASU strike? Do you think we will have issue of salary wages? No, it's practically possible because we are the one that will be driving the post. We will be the one that decides the pay of every Nigerian. We will be the one that will decide to make sure that, because ASU is part of Labour, we will decide what to give the educational system. Because this is we, and if we do, we cannot shoot ourselves on the foot. So that is what the issue of power does. In the CUPP issue, the strategy at that point was that all the other political parties who have ideas, and I must say here, and put it to record, we were already in CUPP before Atiku decided to leverage on us. It was not before. So nobody should be under illusion that probably some people are accusing us, in particular, it's the money that we want to take. And these are the same people who are benefiting and taking money from this particular same individual. But our idea was very, very clear. We wanted the political party to survive. I can tell you, had it been that it has worked at that point in time, nobody would have accused Dr. Yunusa Tanko. No. Because what we wanted to do was survive. Get the political party to work with other political parties so that we will survive, because we are aware that INEC would be a registered political party. Even some of our people we are not doing what they're supposed to do. You see, if you want to win election, it's not about you on the streets shouting and screaming. No, it's about you doing a grassroots. We don't have the numbers on the ground. Some people can challenge me. We don't have the numbers on the ground. So what do? You use your strategy to look. Let me with those who have the strength. Let me have the candidates. Support me, I support you. That way the NCP or any other political party wouldn't have been registered. But unfortunately, when the PDP, the Atiku people come in, they were selfish. They were interested in themselves alone. The PDP as at that time was interested in only winner take it all. And we cautioned against it. We said, look, what we are in here, as you are joining us, is for us to survive as a movement, as a party. If we had won a state assembly, the NCP wouldn't have been registered, or any other political party. That would have made the union more stronger. But nobody was listening. Nobody was doing the right thing. Everybody was interested, no, let's go solo. But you don't have the capacity, you don't have the firepower. You have to look at other strategic ideas. So as it is today, the CUPP is not part of this particular movement. It is not. This movement is adopted into the Labour Party, which is ideologically similar to what we have. And so we are begging. We cannot be perfect. We need everybody on board. This is the closest we can get at this point. This is the closest we can get. Because the truth is this. Peter Obi is an individual who has presented his manifesto, and he got the movement of the Nigerian people who are looking for solution. And he comes in at the right time, and his message resonates with the Nigerian people. Those who want to ride on it now are moving into it to take the opportunity. So if the opportunity is being provided, let's take the opportunity. That is how politics works. You ride on the existing situation so that you can be able to win. When you win, you cannot make the internal correction that you want to make if there are corrections. But if you don't
Dr.
win,
Tanko,
you will go back to the same way.
Dr. Tanko, now
yes,
you
sir.
just pointed out one of the things that was like a disadvantage to the movement sometime in 2019. You said Article Group joined, and then they tried to make it a winner takes all thing. How do you guide against such happening or working on similar coalition?
Exactly. Very good question, Shegun. Now, the table has turned. We have learned our lesson. What we are having now here is a combination of all the movements. The TUC is making its inroad based on its documents. The NLC is making its inroad based on its document, even to give directive for all of its political commission to say this is what we want as a charter of demand. And remember, this particular time around, it is not a political party that is owned by the candidate. He joined the political party that we are already in. So there's a difference. He is the one that comes in to join the political party. So it's not a party that he owns. So he has to listen to what is already on ground.
As per the terms of the coalition.
And exactly. So since that he has joined, we will work together, what he has and what we have together to rescue Nigeria. So there's a big difference here, and that is why it is working.
So are you in Labour Party? Are you in Labour Party now, sir?
Well, I am in alliance with I am in strong alliance with the Labour Party.
Okay, great.
I am in very strong alliance with the Labour Party.
There are concerns. Let me just take this moment to confirm it officially from you. Are there threats to sue? To sue the leadership of the Labour Party for adopting Peter Obi as presidential candidate, because we learned that there are lawsuits about to fly that Peter Obi just came and became candidate, that the leadership of the party is in compromise or somehow. Are there factions in Labour Party, and what do you think about? And can you also even confirm it officially? Are there law threats or lawsuit threats against Peter Obi? Imagine just 1 week of joining Labour Party as a candidate.
Have you ever caught a girl? Then when she was telling you that when we are about to get married, there a lot of our suitors started coming in and started saying I was dating her before that particular party, before you take her. She has become a beautiful bride. The same question I will ask you: when last did you hear of the Labour Party? It's been a long time, isn't it? But now it has a beautiful bride in Peter Obi, and a movement is coming in. A lot of people are coming in and making it so beautiful. So
you are raising hope, Dr. Tanko. You are seriously raising hope here, and that's exactly what's going to shape my next question to you. Where has the coalition talk, where has it reached right now?
There's reached a point at 50% that we want to work together. We must work together. Agreement. But who will fly?
So is Peter Obi likely to emerge, or Kwankwaso, who is like from what you know, sir, who is likely to be the candidate who is likely to be the running mate?
We have not read that.
Wow, network.
Are you kidding?
I'm with you, sir, but the network is actually fluctuating. Yes. Please just repeat what you said last year.
There's no decision on that yet. Everybody is still mobilizing structures.
Okay.
But the basic fundamental thing that we all agree, which they alluded to, both of them alluded that we are talking to each other and we work each other. We agree.
Okay.
That one is true.
That sounds fantastic. Fantastic. So where do you think this is likely to be, and what would you prefer? I'm just asking you personal opinion now. Where do you think, where would you like it to end? Because a lot of people are like, it's Peter
Like
Obi.
it to end, interestingly, fantastic. Yes. Just for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons that we want to unite this country. We want to take it out of this particular tribal and
wow, network. Oh, man.
It doesn't belong to a tribe. Campaign on the Igbo campaign mantra. All this interested is Nigerian, so it's a Nigerian project. And interestingly, so also is Rabbi Musa Kwankwaso. So we are not campaigning on the issue of mantra of we belong to this particular group. No, we want to take Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yes, Nigeria is our focus, and Peter Obi is it. For who loves Nigeria, we also support that Peter Obi should be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And we don't want to repeat the same mistake that we did during the Abia issue in 1993. We don't want to repeat that. You have a favorable candidate, Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, all voted for him. Then you deny that particular person of the opportunity to lead us. If we had done that, Nigeria would have been better at the moment now. And the 8 years would have long been gone. 8 years is just about here. Buhari would have finished his 8 years without achieving anything. It has happened. So we are hopeful support, we will win this. In fact, interestingly, people are saying that if we agree on it, by 12 noon, the election is over. And we'll take care of some of the major things that we have as a country. It must be on the mantras of interest for Nigeria and its people. And anybody who has been championing a cause and been advocating that Nigeria must be, this is the opportunity for you. Is one, Nigeria and its people. No, nothing less.
Interesting. So if this alliance still doesn't produce, I mean, what you're working for, what will be the next course of action?
Of course, we keep on mobilizing. We keep on moving. After all, I just told you that this issue started 3 decades ago. But here we are. We are now the talking point in Nigeria. So it didn't start today. So we continue moving. We can't stop until we get to that particular destination. Nigeria must be good, and it will be good. As they say, we can't quit. We will continue to struggle for it. Some of our people who have been leading this particular, some of them are dead.
Yeah, many are actually.
So we too will go to take it, but we have to get to that destination. We must work for Nigeria. We don't have any. So under anybody that is under the illusion of thinking that no, what they are doing cannot work and all, he is the one under illusion. But anybody, because anybody, the Hausa people have a saying, "Maganin tapia, maganin tapia." What it means that the antidote for a long journey is movement. Because when you keep on moving, even as a snail speed, you will get to that destination.
Okay, now this is it. So some of the speculations that people have, which is also forming up their or making up their fear or fear factor, is that yes, if you want to work with that, the North is usually very tricky when they work with you. That the North may still step down for themselves, and then Peter Obi will just split the Southern votes, and then power still. If you are trying to unify the country, why, why are you not making sure that all these people work together to let everybody support the South instead of you are not talking to the southern the northern person like Atiku, for instance, to at least also step down and allow for southern presidency and the rest of them. What is your own, opinion about that?
See, politics is about game of numbers. You have to have the ability of power of situation, convincing each other. The message is already resonating. It is win. I'm sure you must have read the Twitter handle of Hakim Baba Ahmed. Hakim Baba Ahmed is the secretary of publicity secretary of the Northern Elders Forum. He has come out and say that people have been accusing Peter Obi that he's a stingy person. But no, it is not. From what he has learned from that particular individual, is a progressive individual. There is a hurricane coming up that he is afraid there's going to be a revolution in this country. If I'm correct, those are some of his words. And that he, of course, give his support to the emergence of a new movement. That is the spokesman of the Northern Elders Forum. How did he come to this particular level? It's part of the discussion that he has had with Peter Obi. So he's convinced that it's a genuine individual. So that way, the message that we keep on sending is that you don't keep on accusing each other, calling everybody names. Look, Segun, to say the truth, every part of this country has offended any part of this country before or now. Every part of this country have done one thing or the other against each part of this particular thing. So you can accuse everybody of doing one thing or the other. It is a perception that you send that is resonating with everybody. But if you send the right words, give people comfort, let them believe that what you are doing is for their interest, they will queue in. I am a Natana. I am from Kano. I voted for MK Abiola. It was an option A4 election, and we won. The same can happen, maybe even better,
of course,
if you send the right message.
You remember the time
you were there.
In Kano?
You saw my people how they love me.
Absolutely, yeah. I remember.
You saw it. So it was not again saying we are talking about, and the whole hall at that time when you came were filled by women, youth. So we still have that particular control. If you send the same message, as of today, let's be sincere. Are we not having a northern president? Can you compare the indices of development that is happening within the north and south today? If you compare the level of killing that is taking place, if you take it on the ratio of 10 to 1, northerners are being killed more than even the southerners.
It's more in the north, yeah.
And that is, we have a northern president. These are the messages that you need to communicate with the people. They are younger ones who are still having problems.
So personally, if you have your way, you are simply giving us impression that you will be able to like impress on Kwankwaso to step down for Peter Obi so that we can unify this country by virtue of a Peter Obi emergence.
It is beyond the issue of Kwankwaso. It's about rescuing Nigeria. We will appeal to everybody. We need everybody. Kwankwaso has only one vote. He has a lot of people surrounding him. There are also plenty of people who will also support us. So it's about the people. Get the right message to the people. Let them understand, because people are telling them something different.
I'm just talking based on the mood. I mean, the direction of what you have been talking about. Sounding like you're excited about Peter Obi's surface coming to the surface, and that you're excited that at least we might be able to have a national front coalition talk again, and that you're also excited about Peter Obi, if he has a chance and we all support him, may unify this country so that the eastern part of the country that has been feeling marginalized over the years can also start feeling part of the membership sense of the country again.
Exactly.
Which is,
these are the words.
Yes, that's exactly what informed the question. That if you have your way, are you saying you will impress on Kwankwaso to support Peter Obi and let him be the front runner? Kwankwaso may just be, runner up, running mates. Yeah.
That's what I said, Segun.
Okay.
I'm confirming that I'm asking every northerner, not only Kwankwaso, everybody, let us work together. So because I have granted an interview before and I know how press work, they can just take it out of context. But we are going beyond that. So let's leave the issue of presidency within the two of them. But we know we have a candidate in Peter Gregory Obi, for the unity of this country.
That's very great. If you
That is
have
the
any
truth.
question, you're watching Dr. Yunusa Tanko live. Is part of the National Consultative Forum who are working on coalition to see how they can bring Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, and other political parties together to form an alliance to see how they can rescue the country. So this is about rescuing Nigeria. Now there have been so many um, agitations, and you are aware, Dr. Yunusa Tanko, those who are saying, well, if this is not, for instance, you saw what happened with the lady that was killed, Deborah, if I get her name correctly now, who was killed for
Yeah.
alleged blasphemy. And we also saw how the North, I mean, majority people in the North stepped out to defend the act that yes, it was right to have killed her, to have murdered her, to have lynched her for the alleged blasphemy. We also understand that some people said no, it wasn't right. I mean, I want to just ask your own opinion. On that basis, a lot of people have even advanced the topic of let's divide the country, let everybody practice what they believe. What is your own position, sir, Dr. Tanko?
You see, nobody, let me make this clear. Islam does not give you the right to even take your own soul, even though you know you are dying. You, as a person, if you are dying, you know you are dying. Islam does not give you the right to take even your soul, not to talk about taking the soul of anybody. You don't have that right. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi
So
wasallam
it's not
has taught us.
it's not a northern issue.
No. Many people take a lot of things out of context, and then they will, of course, adjourn to it. Yes, Deborah must have done something that is completely against the beliefs of the Northerners in certain ways. But then there are rules and regulations of how to deal with such issues. Nobody should take laws into his hands. It is completely condemnable and it's not agreeable. And so also the killing that took place in Onitsha, in a way of killing that reprisal. Another woman who does not know anything. She was just walking on the street with her children, and then she was massacred on the street of Onitsha. We all saw that. You understand? The same thing has happened. You saw what happened in Owo. Somebody come into the hall and started shooting sporadically and killing people. It's totally unacceptable. The same thing has happened in Kano, in the emirs' mosques, the emirs of Kano. People come onto the same on top of the mosque and started shooting people on a Friday. They kill a lot of people. You can Google it and you see. So these things are happening around the country. And what is the result? Is because of we have bad leadership. People who are in the position of leadership cannot control the people because they've lost the track of control on the hands of the people. They couldn't pick and deal with issues as they come. Look, Shagun, let us ask a question. We have laws in this country. Somebody say, don't steal. A Hausa man now went to Ibadan and went and steal somebody's goats. The laws are there for crying out loud. Deal with that particular person because he has committed a crime against the people, against the laws of the land on that particular place. Do not be sentimental about it. Deal with it right there and be fair and square. But you see, we have a situation here in the country.
Dr. Tanko,
Yes.
you are aware that sometimes there's still some kind of dichotomy between the laws we practice. For instance, the laws guiding Sharia and the rest of them, the laws founding Sharia policies and principles and the rest of them, which are usually subsistent in the north but not applied in the south. I mean, does the law of the land still guide all of us? Does it still impugn on all of us, or just on a section of or a region of the country? We
No.
remember
You
the
see,
VAT issue,
yes.
destruction of beers, and the rest of them. They apply Sharia over there, and some people are angry that how can you be using our money here to fund most of the things that we consume beer, and the VAT from it is used to send allocation to the north, but not is destroying beer and saying they have Sharia and they don't want it. And I agree with you that since there is a law of the land, is the law of the land still operating, or is there a separate law in the north? And what is your own stand about
No.
that?
You see, to make it more easier, the Sharia law, the other normal laws that we have, are all existing in this particular area. The Sharia law is clearly to those particular Muslims who have already, it's strictly for Muslims who believe in that particular religion. And they are being dealt with within that. But if there are infractions as regard to a Christian committing a crime against the religion and all. There are ways to deal with it. The most important thing, the law is very simple. Once you have a law, once it's been dealt with accordingly, honestly, there's no ambiguity. But the truth about it is that people take laws into their own hands. If you go to a Sharia court, it will take decision on the Sharia court. But if it involves another person who doesn't believe in that particular, you must deal with him in his own laws. That particular law that in which he believes in, so that there will not be any contradiction. But what happens that we will want to enforce law that people do not really believe in. It won't work. So probably we will have to find a way of harmonizing these particular laws to suit those particular areas of our interest or those who believe in it, so that we will not have this particular sharp contrast. Just like as you mentioned, you don't believe in drinking beer, but you can benefit from the proceeds of a beer. Separate it. Separate it. You cannot make it mandatory on somebody who doesn't believe in something and then you benefited it. It doesn't work. It's not even right.
So you also oppose it, and including the creation of ISBA and the rest of them. Yeah. ISBA police.
I give an example of something that happened in Kano, which a lot of our brothers are not happy about. Here you are, a son of a prominent person, committing a crime against the state based on the laws, and you're not dealing with that person. But you take a commoner who commits a similar crime, but you deal with that particular person without dealing with that particular person. That is pick and choose. The laws are blind. When the law takes decision, it takes decision on all. So I detest the issue of segregation. I detest the issue of pick and choose. If there's a law, it's binding on everybody. But don't pick and choose because you are in position of power. It is not acceptable to me, and I know a lot of Northerners do not agree to that. And so that's where the contradiction comes from. If you can separate somebody and say,
talking about the Dr. Tanko, talking about the coalition works you're doing, somebody asked a question and I feel I should let you see it. I can't find it. There are so many comments since then. Talking about Lamidi, the person was asking about Sanusi Lamido, whether the coalition is also involving or talking about. Okay, this is the comment. I found it. Dr. Tanko, please, why don't you go for ex-governor of CBN, Dr. Sanusi Lamido, former Emir of Kano? He is better. So, is he in the? Are you considering him in the talks so that
we are considering a lot of people? We are considering a lot of people. A lot of people are talking and reaching out to a lot of individuals, and I'm sure he is part of this particular list that have been reached to discuss this matter with him.
Okay, another person is asking. I guess this person is a Shore fan, even going by his profile picture. So, have you engaged Shore or Moyele Shore in your consultation too? If no, any reason for that?
We are interested in everybody. Even Kingsley Magalu that lost his primary and all, we are interested in everybody. Because, look, if you are saying the same thing, I want to eat rice, I want to eat rice, I want to eat rice. Then somebody say, this is the rice, let's us eat it together. What are you looking for again? We are championing the same cause. We want to get Nigeria out of the wood, but we need to also take care of it strategically. What I'm just pleading on is that every Nigerian who believes in Nigeria, who want to get this country out of the wood, should please shield his sword. Bring your ideas. We are open. It's not a closed door. It is not a closed door at all. So,
the question is whether you have reached out to him also.
At the moment I said, a lot of people are reaching out to a lot of different people. So if they have not done that, we'll include him into the list. But I'm sure a lot of people are being reached. And so here's my friend. Okay. We can easily reach out to him. That's my very good friend.
Okay.
So he cannot be left out at all.
Another person is also interested in Professor Kingsley Moghalu.
Yes, we have also. Yes, as I speak, a lot of people are reaching out to Professor Kingsley Moghalu, and we are talking to how to get him on board too. So don't be surprised in a very distant time you see him coming on board, because he belonged actually to the NC front. He was a strong member up to today. He is still on the platform of the NC front.
I've read some of the questions out to you, but personally, I want to ask Dr. Tanko, in bringing everybody together, are you not afraid of the same mistake you said you regret in 2019? All strange board fellows just bringing everybody on board, and at the end of the day,
We have some.
somebody with the largest money will just railroad you into one thing.
Oh no! Interestingly, we have taken care of that because the core group that hold the movement together is still intact. And I said earlier on, it is not about chanting the cause. No, it is based on an agreeable document of charter of demand of the LDC and the TUC. So we have a program of action, including that of the Labour Party manifesto. We are collapsing it together. Very soon you will see a comprehensive document being sent out. So if you don't believe in that comprehensive document, you don't have business doing it with us. So all of these things we have learned lessons from them, and we are taking care of it. The core group is still intact, and we don't want any negative infiltration, but we want positive infiltration.
Dr. Tanko, let's talk about Labour Party before I leave. While I'm
Yes.
hoping that nobody has any further question. Labour Party, over the years, Labour Party, if I remember very well, former governor of Ondo State, Olusegun Mimiko, used Labour Party. Most of the people, whenever they had
Yes.
issues in their PDP or APC, they always ended up in Labour Party. So Labour Party, I would say to a larger extent, the structure in Labour Party is built or is owned by PDP more, if I'm correct to say that. But I'm sure that you are more inside it and you may know better. I'm just saying, isn't that a threat already?
No, it is not. You see, sometimes Shogun, you have to allow a little bit of laxity or kind of room for flexibility so that you can get the right chain. You have been to Ondo State when Dr. Olusegun Mimiko was the governor of Ondo State. Can you, in your mind, say there was no progression or achievement being done under Dr. Olusegun Mimiko in Ondo State? Actually, no. Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, under the Labour Party, did extremely well for the Ondo people. Extremely. You may not get 100%. I have been to Ondo. I've seen what he has done. Is it the issue of the children on the street when you have buses? Is it the issue of hospitals? Is it the issue of network? Is it the issue of economy? Where else, which area would you touch that Segun Mimiko has not touched? And then he did it under the Labour Party. So if you can get something good in that party as at that time, what makes you feel that you cannot get it on the whole country? It's not a dumping ground. No, it's a place where people will come and fly with their ideology that can help them to resonate with the people. Yes, the challenges are there. At the point in time, the Labour Party that you know of that particular period of time that may be having some challenges, it's not the same political party that you have today. But it has been tested and proven that the Labour Party can be a vehicle where people can aspire and get to the higher position and at the same time do the best good thing for the Nigerian people, which has already been exemplified under the Dr. Olusegun Mimiko's era. So in that case, you can also say that, yes.
So you believe that Labour Party did performed more excellently with Segun Mimiko rather than under PDP when he was governor?
Obviously, it was very clear. Labour Party under Mimiko rebranded the state completely. Come again?
Okay. Now, he rebranded. Mimiko was able to perform only because it was under Labour Party.
No, at least he had a vehicle
to perform better. Yeah. Labour Party
because he
perform better than PDP.
Of course, because he's a progressive man, an ideologue, and somebody who is brilliant. And so he had an opportunity in using the Labour Party, and he achieved his aim for the Ondo people. And I'm sure the Ondo people will tell you that today they are regretting losing somebody like Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, because their people enjoyed him, the children enjoyed him. If they have a chance, they could even call him back now and say, "Come and govern us."
Somebody, David Asaba on Facebook, asked an important question. He's asking what Labour Party's view or being position is about restructuring. And I think restructuring is a recurring topic, I mean, for many years now. So Labour Party's position on restructuring, and for
it is
maybe personally your own opinion too about
it's all down to issue of good governance. Look, issue of restructuring, these are issues that have been on and on. And the Labour Party is not oblivion of that particular fact. We are ready to deal with it. Look, let me be clear. Our demand is not about what we want to do for the people. It's what the people want us to do for them. That is our target. So issue of restructuring or is not even an issue for us. Because for us, it's something that must be, is part of what we intend to do, to look at the documents and make sure that the people have a constitution that belongs to all of them, that they're agreeable to. So it's gone beyond that.
Okay.
We want a better Nigeria.
Okay, so as we speak right now, you are chairman of Nigerian National Conscience Party.
Yes.
But you are rooting for Labour Party's candidates.
Very true, under a strong alliance with the Labour Party.
Okay, so what are the ideological similarities? National Conscience Party, abolition of poverty. You remember that?
The people, giving them their right to take their level, making sure that the needs of the people is paramount and is number one in our mind, taking out of the shackles and all. So there's similarity in Nigeria, and it's people driven. Nothing more. And if you remember, there's no any movement that the movement has done that Ghana is not part of it, that Dr. Osage was part of it, and that Femi Falana was not part of it, or my humble self. These are past chairmen of the National Conscience Party. And if Labour is interested in something, why wouldn't the NCP be? We've championed, I've been champion of democracy for the Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria. I was the Freedmen's movement group. So everything is Nigeria first. And everybody that believes in it, we have similarities in ideology.
Somebody has a question here, and I think it's Jermaine. You remember that recently Ekiti State governorship election was conducted and just winded off. They said Labour Party did not really necessarily feature, and that another is coming up now in Osun State. So somebody is asking, sir, what are you doing about Osun State Labour Party election? Your governorship candidate needs help. Is it just about 2023 and the election for Peter Obi, or is Labour Party doing something to at least make sure that they also grab the structures from state to state before 2023, especially with the state elections coming up? Yeah.
And let me make it clear. Before we move into the Labour Party and conceptualize this particular movement that is waxing stronger, with the candidate we had in Ekiti State, very, really strong. The organization has got that fever point. And we're not using it or shortest, but we are using it to pivot what we want to get in 2023. So you can agree it takes a slow start to get to this particular level. But I'm assuring you that we will give full support to our candidate, Malam Suleiman Laosu, who is running under the Labour Party in Osun State. We are going to gravitate and mobilize a lot of people around him too while he's running for election, because he is more solidly on ground. I'm sure all of the assembly members and all have been fully been uploaded into the INEC. Will be fully uploaded into the INEC system come 1st of July 2022. That's when the Labour candidate will emerge, and we will give all of our support to ensure that we have a very good showing, if possibly winning the ticket.
Collins Pets on YouTube wants to know what your view is about the 2014 Constitutional Conference. You remember the confab? You know, the confab had recommendations. What's your view about that confab and its outcome? In
part of our discussions, these are issues that will come up, because not only 2014, there are other constitutional conferences that took place that are being kept gathering dust somewhere. But we want to pick out all of these particular issues and see which one will be more useful to us. And that is the reason why we must have strong representation at the National Assembly. We must have strong representation.
As part of scrutinizing, as part of probing, you know, somebody is asking, Festus on Facebook is asking, how can a Peter Obi, who is a non-capitalist, be the one to lead a labor government? You know that the ideology for labor movement is different from capitalism.
Okay, fine. So at every point in time, no, there's no contradiction. At every point in your life, you have an opportunity to change. He once belonged to a capitalist political party. Now he's belonging to a political party that is ideologically more or less like a socialist in nature. So there's two differences. You come into a place, you behave like that. You see, when you are in Rome, you behave like the Romans. Now he's coming into also, there's no contradiction also. Yes, and even after that, let's even look at what he performed in Anambra. Was he running a capitalist system at that particular point in time? Obviously, no. Some even call him a stingy person, which he is not, because he's prudent. And so it is this particular ideological belief that he has turned him into the look, I don't really belong to these particular people. This is where I belong, so that I can really freely perform what I believe in. So there's no contradiction at all. It is what the man does that is more important than probably the political lineage in which he once run after under. He's a different person entirely now, and he belongs to a different political grouping now with real strong political ideologue that he's going to work with to change the narrative and take Nigeria out of the woods.
Well, Dr. Yunusa Tanko, it's been a fantastic time with you, and I'm sure that as events unfold and as more developments come up towards 2023, we'll still have more topics to talk about, more revelations from you, more advice, more analysis with you to do together towards 2023. I thank you so much for coming on the show today with me. I was supposed to see you in Lagos today. Unfortunately, I couldn't come to Lagos. But we might still make it tomorrow. Yeah, we might still meet up
It's
tomorrow
okay.
somehow.
Thank you very much,
I'll work
Shefun.
towards it.
Thank you for having me. All right.
Yeah.
God
So
bless
thank you so much,
Nigeria.
everybody, for watching. Yeah. So meanwhile, I want to ask everybody, as you're watching, please. Some of you saw the previous video I did. We have about 5 cases to support to assist this week who are having serious financial needs for treatment and support. So some of you already saw some of the victims that are in need. So if you look on your screen, you see the account number. Please just send your support, any amount you can. We are looking for a lot of money. I don't want to put price. Just any amount you know you can afford to assist a sickle cell anemia patient, somebody running dialysis for kidney issues and the rest of them. So we have so many cases. This week alone, we have five cases. I've been restless about all these humanitarian causes, but it's not also cheap. Some of you already know some of these cases. So we just need your support. If you have 100K, put. If you have 50K, put. If you have 30, 20, 10, 5, just any amount you know you can do to help humanity. We are counting on your support to be able to assist one another. These are humanitarian causes, and I'm sure that you'll be blessed for doing them. Thank you so much. God bless all of you for your time. We have been able to have a conversation with Dr. Yunusa Tanko today, and he has given us his own words about what they are doing at the level of coalition, Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, and the rest. And we'll continue to bring more guests to talk about, to touchlight the road ahead into 2023. I want to thank all of you for your patience, your time, and all. That's the account number on the screen. Please, we are counting on your support. We have this week to quickly reach out to these people so that they can go for. Some of you saw the video. If you didn't join live, you might just as well just go back and check the previous video to this one. It was also a live video. We were able to bring at least two of the people who are in need to the live broadcast. Others we couldn't because they don't even have device to connect, but we know how to reach out to them. So just please support us any amount you can. Let's reach out to these victims. God bless you as you do so. Bye for now. My name is